Hi and welcome, it's your favourite Yorkshire demo here. This is Suzanne at Hullahbaloo.com and I'm back with another Step Up Saturday featuring Hearts and Hugs bundle. So this bundle, look, it's just so cute. I mean, I never thought anyone could ever release a stamp of walrus, but here we are. As you can see, very cute outline drawings, one that drew me in straight away. I'm not a huggy kind of person, but I'm certainly a colouring in cute little animals kind of person. So today's card that we're making is a stepped up version of last week's, and this is this one. So it's using this cute little mouse here, and then of course the dies that come with the set. I'm pairing it up with another die set called Spotlight on Nature dies, and as you can see, these are some gorgeous circles in there. So I'm using that for this particular card. So as you can see, we've got designer's paper, we've got dies, we've got ribbon, we've got embellishments. So let's get started. The supplies you will need card wise, I've got Balmy Blue. This is an A4 piece cut in half, portrait side, and then folded in half to make a 10th fold base. I've got a piece of Balmy Blue which is for that circle at the back, so die cutting. I've got a white for die cutting, so that's basic white, normal thickness of A4. I've got 3 strips of the Balmy Blue Subtles 6x6, so this is the family papers, and I've got it in the leafy pattern here. And then these remaining pieces are for die cutting, so this is a piece of Bubble Bath, a piece of Old Olive, Lemon Lolly, and some more basic white pieces. We have got the white ribbon that comes from the Petal Pink and White 1/4 inch diagonal trim. So as you'll see here, it's got a nice pattern across the ribbon there. And then of course we've got the stamp set, the dies, and I'm finishing those gorgeous little flowers off with the iridescent pearl basic jewels. So let's move all this out of the way and we'll get started. I think we'll start with our die cutting. So we'll do that first. There is there's 2 bits of stamping. So we'll do that because one of them needs to be die cut. So if we get that done, we need our tuxedo black, which is for the mouse and for the sentiment. So I've got these mounted already. This is a red rubber stamp set, so you can't see through it like you can the photopolymer, but that doesn't change how cute and adorable the set is. Not a single bit. So which one of these does the mouse fit on? That one, I think. So we'll put him on there. Beautiful. I'm going to colour him with blends, so I'm going to be using Smoky Slate and Bubble Bath. And then if we do these sentiments just a little bit closer, we'll get them on this piece. And then stamp them down as straight as I can on there. Great stuff. So pop them to one side. We'll bring in the little mouse so that we can colour him in before we get him die cut. So Bubble Bath, I'm a Bubble Bath on that side, no, they're on this side. So Bubble Bath, I've got light and dark Bubble Bath, and then I have got light and dark Smoky Slate as well, just because I think he's better colour grey for him. So we'll start with the mouse himself. Start with the shaded pieces, so I'll be shading round the side of his head here, like so. A little bit on this ear because it's the one that's in the shade. Smooth that off a little bit. There we go. Down this rear side of him. I'll make his feet darker. I was going to make those pink, but we'll leave it as is. His tail can be darker too, and then just under these bits of the arms here where he's where he's holding that heart. going. He looks really cute. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that better. There we go. And then the light version, and then we're just going to go over it like you would, like I've shown you in a few other videos of mine. I go from the dark onto the light, because it helps it blend, like so. And then get his little hands, and then I go over it all a second time. I just think a second time just gives it that extra finish to it, like so. And then do the same on his head, just remembering to keep part of his ears pink, the inners, and his nose is going to be pink as well. My smoky slate, I think, is starting to run out. I think we'll get his head done, and then it may be time to say goodbye to this one and get myself a new one. There we go, that's his little body done. Pop them out of the way. And then same with the dark, we'll give the heart a bit of a dimension to it down one side, and under those little hands of his, and then in the inner ear piece, cut his little nose, and then over with the light in the same manner. There we go. What a gorgeous little mouse. Right, okay, so the dies that we need. So in the Spotlight on Nature dies, I'm using 2. So you can see there's a bit of evidence of what I've left here from the old one. So that's for the blue, and then it's the next one. So it's the second and the third largest circles from that set, and they are going to be for the large blue circle and then the inner white circle. So that's this one that it's mounted on, and then this one that the design goes on. Zoom back out there. And then in the Hearts and Hugs dies, we are going to use these little flowers. So there's a large one and a small one, and then there's a large and a small singular ones. So we're going to take the small singular with it. These little hearts, these flower stems, we'll take this set of hearts too, because then it cuts them out in one go. And then we need the outline for the mouse himself. There we go. So as always with any outlines, I'll be using post-it notes to keep this in place, like so. I'm going to use 2, one at the top and one nearer the bottom. So he's ready. We don't need the sentiment die cutting. Right, so the yellow is the flowers, so we'll be popping them on there like that. The old olive is for the stems, and the bubble bath is for the hearts. Like so. In fact, I can half that piece and save some of it. Can I do the same with the flowers? Almost. Right, so getting all our bits and pieces ready. And then the white one is going to be this ridged circle, and then the blue one is going to be the bigger circle. Right, and those are ready. So now we just need to bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Let's move those out of the way. Bring it in. Grab our plates. So there's 3 plates that we need. We need a number 1, which is the base plate. We need a number 2, which is a clear cutting plate. We then pop on our card and the die, and then we pop another number 2 on top. like so. So then that can be cranked through. And that should pop. There we go. So that's that one. We will pop this to one side, and then I just quickly dust off any bits that's left on the plates themselves so that they don't interfere with my next bit of die cutting. Back in they go. And then we put our white piece on, and this, let's see if we can get a few on this one. We can get our pink hearts on with this, like so. We'll bring in our top plate again, and through that goes. There we go. So get them off of there and pop them with the blue piece. Get our hearts off onto there, and the white piece pop out. Look at the edges on that, lovely. And then the final part, which is the flowers. See if we can get the flowers, the mouse and the stems on together. So the flowers, like so. So flowers, the stems and the little mouse. See if we can get these to fit. And then the plate on top. Let's have a go. There we go, that's going through. So we'll pull that back to the middle. Just gonna hold that down so, oh, it's moving my mouse. Let's get my little mouse in there. There we go. Yeah, that's those all through. Pop that out of the way. Fold up the sides. And let's have a look at our die cuts. So we've got our flowers. Put the dies to one side. So there's little hearts on there. We don't need those little tiny blue bits. And then we've got our other flowers here. We've got our stems. Being careful not to rip them. Put the die there, and then we can take the post-its off of this. And there's our little mouse, all nicely cut out. Pop the plates away. Right, and what we're going to do is we're going to build up this circle first. I'm going to pop out any little bits that it's missed around the edge as I've pulled it off the die there. You can do this using your take your pick tool. If there's just a couple, you can use the paste inside. If there's a lot more, you can use the brush. It'll pop them all out. But there we go, that's that done. Now what I want to do with this, bring the reference piece in. You can't quite tell, but I've wrapped the ribbon around the back piece to make that bow. So what I have done is I've gone in at one side, like so. I've then tried to work out where it would naturally come out, so about here, and I've brought it through, and then I've just taken it back round, and then I've done a bow for it. So bring this ball down, and then I'll just tie this like I normally do. So my two ears crossed over, like so. Let's get that all straightened up. Let's try that again. So bringing it up, we'll cross them over this time, I think. Do a knot first. There we go. And then one here, two here, cross them and through. Not doing right well here, am I? Right, try it again. Cross. There we go. This is how I did it. Yes. We've got there in the end. Right, let's make it the right size. And then we can just trim that down. Like so. So we'll trim that. And I use the diagonals on this ribbon to get myself a nice little trim point like that. Right, so we've got our bow on, like so. There we go. And if it keeps twisting, I might just stick a glue dot under it to make it stay where I want it to. So we'll pop that to one side a moment. We're going to build our little flowers onto here. So what I want to do is pop this up high enough on here that we can then put the little mouse down here, and then pop the flowers and hearts around him. So what I did do on my previous one is I used it's an adhesive sheet. You put it on the piece of card before you cut the die. It turns it into a bit like a sticker. So then anything that's got a bit of stuff to it like this, you don't need to be positioning glue and waiting for it to see if it can just stick on like a sticker. But I thought I'd show you, if you don't have any of those, how you can stick this on. So I'm going to go about there, I think. Just gently press those down. Great stuff. And then I'm popping 2 dimensionals on the back of the mouse, one at the top of his head, one at the base of him near his feet when backings come out of the way. I'll try again. There we go. We'll pop him just down here, I think. There we go. And then the flowers themselves I stuck on with glue dots and the hearts. So if we grab the flowers, pop them each onto a glue dot, and then we do the same with the hearts, and then they're all ready to just pick up and pop onto our card. There we go. So what I did with the flowers before I popped them onto my card was I took my Take Your Pick tool, the putty end, laid them onto my hand there, the really soft part of your thumb, and I just pressed them lightly with the base of the lid. And then it gives you a bit of dimension on them, and then you can just pick them up with the piercing tool end and stick them. Which one's the big one? That's the big one, so we want the little ones on either side like that, and then you can pick up those petals again. So another little one on this side, press down the middle again, there we go, and then the big one up top and press that down. Make sure it sticks. There we go, it's all coming together now. I'm going to pop this with a bit of Tombow on the back onto that blue circle that we die cut. And then I want it at the side, so like that. And then stick this as equally as I can. There we go. And then this is ready to put onto the card, like so. So we'll get the card built up and then we'll finish it off with embellishments. So I've got these 3 pieces and I've cut them in a way that the pattern follows on from each other. So now I've got to work out which way I did that. So that one goes there. Does that one go on the end? No, this must go on the other end. Yep. So there's our 3 pieces. Now the trick to getting these on in an equal manner is you do the 2 edge ones first and then you do the middle. So we'll do this edge. I keep going off camera there, I'm so sorry. So there we go, pop first one on there, getting an even border. There's one. Take the other outer edge one and pop some glue on that as well. Spin that round. Again, trying to get it as even as you can. And then press that down. And then you'll see the gap in the middle. So it means that all you need to do from here is put some glue on that. And then just get that as even as you can as well. And giving a decent gap on both sides of it. Again, keeping them as even as possible. And then down it goes. And that's your background done. Let's pop some dimensionals on the back of this. Or did I put it on flat? No, I did dimensional it. So I'm not going to put many. I'm going to put 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom there. Get the backs off those. And then it were just the final little bits that we need to pop on to finish the card off. So if we try and centre that up here like so, I'm just going to tighten that bow so it'll stay where I want it to. There we go, that's better. And then as you can see, the only bits that are needed now, we need to cut our sentiment, we need to put our hearts, and we need to put our pearls on. So where did I pop my pearls? My pearls here. So let's do the hearts first. So we'll pop, similar to what we've done on that one, we'll put one here, we'll put one up here, and we'll put one just peeking underneath there, like so. Get our pearls on. And I've gone for the same small ones on each. I think, no, they're too small. I must have gone for these ones. Yeah. So 1, 2, come on. This one doesn't want to be stuck. 3, there we go. And then the final part will be just to snip these. And I'm going to do what I've done on a few before, in which I just cut the rectangle around them by eye. Like so. one, and then the same at the bottom here. Again, I'm just using my blade of my scissors so I can get them straight. If you're not confident, you can use a guillotine, you can use your trimmer, you can use whatever you feel you need to get that shape, sharp, straight edge if you're not confident cutting it yourself. There we go. Right, and then I did use mini dimensionals for these. I like to use my take your pick with the minis because they're quite little. As this will sit on top of the mouse, I'm only going to put 2 at the other end. I'm going to put 1 at the very end and 1 about just before halfway, so about there. And then I'm going to pop a tiny bit Tombow on the very end so that it'll stick to the mouse. We'll get these backs off like so, and then pop that just down there. Is that straight? There we go. And then at the top, a mini on each side. Like that. There we go. So backs off, and then that should be our cards finished. There we have it. 2 gorgeous cards using the Hearts and Hugs bundle, paired up with the what do they call it? Spotlight on Nature dies. Yes, Spotlight on Nature dies, featuring Balmy Blue really, and some of the other pastel shades available to us in Stampin' Up. If you would like to purchase the items that I have used in this, you can look in the description bar underneath this video. I have included links to every product there. The measurements are also listed below, and alongside the tools such as the heat gun, the mini stamping cut and emboss plate, scissors, everything, you name it, it's all linked below. Don't forget to sign up to my newsletter, hullahbaloo.com/newsletter, to get other tutorials like this that will not be public on YouTube. And I will see you next week, where we feature another stamp set bundle in a simple Sunday. I hope to see you there. Bye.